nice that you should ask, little lighting chick. Well, she is the head lighting crew.
Oh, yes, that's true.
And she's very good. She needs a raise, but, you know, GrandMommy does this on a budget. So, okay. And that's the little lighting chick. Anyway, to boys and girls, mommies and papas, and grandmommies and grandpuppies, today's adventure is the crochet lesson. Now, we all know who Sally Skunk is and her baby sister Sadie. Well, Sally Skunk's mama did not know how to crochet, and she did not know how to sew. She liked to paint pictures. And painting pictures and crocheting and sewing is completely, totally two different things, okay? So she knew that Mommy Pig could crochet. And of course, Mommy Pig, you know, Mommy Pig sewed all the little pigs' shirts and everything, and so she was good. She was good. And so she said, well, Sally, why don't you go and ask Mommy Pig if she'll teach you how to crochet? And so Sally says, oh, okay. And so she called Mommy Pig up on the telephone, and she says, hello, Mommy Pig, this is Sally. And Mommy Pig says, oh, hi, Sally, are you coming over to play with the boys today? And she said, well, I wonder if you would like to please teach me how to crochet. I wanted to make a sweater for Sadie for her birthday. Wow, she said, that's a very ambitious project for your first project. Well, I know, but I was hoping that you could help me, because my mama don't know how to crochet, and she can't help me, and she said that you could if you have time. And so Mommy Pig says, well, I tell you what, why don't you come over today at 9 o'clock, and then we can start to crochet. So Sally Skunk was so excited. Oh my gracious sake, she hung up that phone and she was jumping up and down, and she hated to miss the boys and their playing, but she really wanted to learn how to crochet. So she said, okay. She said, I'll be over. Well, in the meantime, the boys had finished breakfast, and they went outside. Grandmommy's getting the hiccups. And they went outside, and they were waiting for Allie the alligator and for the little bad wolf. And so they got there, and so Little Bad Wolf says, is Patty and Sally and Sadie coming this morning? And Piggly says, no, I don't think so. I don't know about Patty Pig, but Sally is not coming. She's going to come to our mama's, and our mama is going to teach her how to crochet. She's going to teach her how to crochet? Little Bad Wolf said. And Piggly said, yeah, because that's what our mama does. It's that thing where you take yarn and you move your hands and you have a stick in each hand. Well, that's knitting, isn't it? Crochet. You know what I mean. And Allie the alligator says, no, I don't think I know what you mean. Little Bad Wolf says, well, I know what you mean because I have watched Mrs. Farmer Brown do that. And Piggly says, okay. He didn't think anything about it. So they were waiting for Patty Pig to show up, and Little Bad Wolf went into the house, and Sally had already come, and Mrs. Mama Piggy was getting out all of her yarn and getting out some crochet hooks, and Little Bad Wolf says, Mommy Pig, would you teach me how to crochet too? And Mama Pig says, well, yes, I certainly will. And I certainly will. Sorry. And Sally Skunk says, Little Bad Wolf, you're a boy. You can't crochet. That's for girls and ladies. And Mrs. Piggy, Mama Piggy says, no. She says, it's also for boys. A lot of boys crochet. And Little Bad Wolf, he's smiling. I've always wanted to. I just never had anybody, and I didn't think about asking Mrs. Farmer Brown. I guess I should have asked Mrs. Farmer Brown because that's where I learned about it. And Mama Piggy says, that's okay. I will teach you too. So she got out some more yarn and got out another hook. So now she says, okay, now what you do is you do this and you loop it around and you make a knot. Well, Sally did it real good. And Little Bad Wolf, he did it real good. In the meantime, the boys are peeking through the window. Piggly, Wiggly, and Squiggly and Allie the alligator, they're peeking through the window, and they said, why is Little Bad Wolf inside there with a crochet hook in his hand? Why isn't he out here playing with us? And so Squiggly went into the house and he said, Little Bad Wolf, we're ready to go. Aren't you going to play with us today? And Little Bad Wolf says, oh no, I'm having much more fun. I am going to learn how to crochet. Your mama's going to teach us how to crochet. So the boys said, well, okay, I guess we'll just go out and do our thing by ourselves. And so they did. Well, Little Bad Wolf and Sally Skunk, they had the best time. But Sally Skunk, poor little baby, you'd think she was as young as her sister Sadie. She got the yarn this away, and then she got it that away, and she got it this away. And Little Bad Wolf was having a little bit of trouble too. Don't drink all that at one time. And so he says, I think I got it figured out, Mommy Pig. Is this what you do? And he showed her, and he had made a nice chain about that long. Oh my gracious sakes, she says, you did a good job. She says, now you make it about this long. And she says, then I'll teach you how to make the next row. Oh my gracious sakes, was that ever exciting? He could make 2 rows if he did it right. And she looked over to Sally Skunk and she said, Sally Skunk, you're having a lot of trouble, aren't you? Yes, ma'am. I don't know what to do because I got it wrapped around this finger, and I got it wrapped around this finger and that finger, and I can't get it loose, and I can't get the hook in the hole, and I can't pull it through, and now it's wrapped around my whole hand, and pretty soon I'm going to tie my hands together. I just don't know what to do. You know, it took Mommy Pig 20 minutes to untangle poor little Sally's hands. 20 minutes it took. So in the meanwhile, Little Bad Wolf, he had already finished that great big row that Mommy Pig wanted him to make. And so Mommy Pig told him how to turn the corner and go back down again. And it took him 3 times to learn how to turn the corner, but he learned how to turn the corner and he started back down his row. Now he had 2 rows started. And so Mommy Pig says, what do you want to make? And he says, I think I'd like to make a scarf for Mr. Farmer Brown for Christmas present. And she said, what a great idea. She says, I know that Farmer Brown would like a scarf for Christmas because it's so cold. So she looks at Sally Skunk. Sally Skunk. Now she had the yarn wrapped around her elbow, down to her hand, and around 3 fingers and down to her other elbow.
Uh-oh. Poor Sally.
Poor Sally. Poor Sally indeed. Mrs. Patty, or not Patty, Mommy Piggy says, "Oh, child, child, what am I going to do with you?" "I don't know." And now she really started to cry. Now, hush, 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 hush. And Mommy Piggy gave her a great big hug, and she said, "It's okay." She says, "We'll start one more time." And so she undid all the yarn from around her elbows and around her hands and around her fingers, and she undid all the yarn, and the poor yarn was getting kind of ragged looking now. And so she says, "Start again." And she showed her, and she hugged her around like this, and she showed her how her little hands should go one more time. And she figured if she went behind her and put her in front, that maybe Sally could understand it more. Well, Sally got 3 stitches made, 3 chains. And Mommy Piggy turned and looked to see how Little Bad Wolf was doing and said something to Little Bad Wolf, like, "You know, you're doing really good." And she looked back. This time Sally Skunk had the yarn around her neck and over one ear, hooked over to these 2 fingers over here, and around her knee.
Uh-oh. Poor Sally.
And Mommy Piggy says, "Oh, Sally, bless your heart. Bless your little heart. I just don't know." So she said, "Sally, why don't you take a break and take a break and see what we are going to do for tomorrow." Okay, what we're going to do for tomorrow. And let me look at what Little Bad Wolf is doing. Well, Little Bad Wolf had already got to the end of the 2nd row, and he turned the corner by himself.
Ooh.
Little Bad Wolf was really smart. We've all known that before. And so she said, "You just keep on going, and if you want to change another color, I'll change it for you and show you how to do it." And Little Bad Wolf says, "That's fine. I'm having a good time." And she looked back at Sally Skunk and she said, "Sally Skunk, I tell you what we're going to do. I'm going to write down some directions for you, and I'm going to give you some yarn and a hook, and you go home, and maybe if you read the directions and do 3 words, read 3 words and do that, and then read 3 more words and do that, maybe you can get it." "Okay, Mommy Pig, can I come back tomorrow?" And "Yes, ma'am, you may come back tomorrow, and we're going to get you to crochet in one way or the other." Boys and girls, tomorrow in the woods will be Monday, okay? So please come back Monday, and we'll see if Sally Skunk has learned how to crochet. Do you think she's going to?
I hope so.
I hope so too. I don't know. We'll find out. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.